back, and today we'll be talking about how to repair the transmission, the center transmission on the HPI Savage XS Flux. This repair goes for all versions of the HPI Savage XS Flux. They haven't changed the design very much since the first one, so the bolt patterns should all be the same. In this video, you'll need your HPI multi-tool, a 2.5mm wrench, a 2mm wrench, and a 1.5mm wrench. Let's get right into the video. So first off today, the first step, obviously, take the body off. Next, since we will be accessing bolts here and here, we'll need to take these two wheels off, which isn't very hard. Now the same for the other wheel. So now that we've gotten our wheels off, the next step, this may seem weird in the step that I'm going, but take the stuff up top off first and then work down. So while I'm working on it, a few things about this car. I learned a lesson when I first got this car. This was my first truck, and I was so excited to get it. Little did I know when I was first getting into RCs, if you are just barely getting into RCs, this is an awesome truck. But do not choose this as your first truck for the reason of making repairs on this vehicle are difficult. Like say your spur gears would come off, which is actually kind of common with this vehicle. Or the pinion gear, sorry, not the spur gear. Repairing the pinion gear, which is what we're actually doing in this transmission rebuild, is difficult. On this truck, it takes about 30 screws to get to, and you take most of the truck apart. On, say, a Traxxas Slash two-wheel drive, which I would highly recommend as a very good starting vehicle, it takes about 2. So now that we've got our roll bar off, set that to the side. Take your transmission gate off. Now, that was all done with the 2.5mm wrench. We're now going to need to swap over to the 2 for a bolt here, here, and 2 on the other side in the same places. Make sure you keep your screws separated. So since I've done this repair on this truck so many times, I'm actually going to take care of all the screws on one side first, then go to the other side, because I found on this truck, since these guards come off and then the screws over here have the transmission come out, it's just easier to take off one side and then go to the other. Always start on the motor side on this truck. So next we're going to unplug the ESC from the motor, because that may be getting in the way here in a minute, because there's one screw down here that we will need to get to. Next, we're going to be taking care of this screw in here. So, it's in this little teeny box. It's difficult to get to. So I'm just going to tell you that it's hard. I'm going to take care of getting this out real quick and then taking care of the other screw over here, and we'll get back into it after that. So we've got the side panel off. You'll want to get the screws out of it. Put those in your bowl of parts, take the cover, set it aside. Now we're going to go to the other side. On this side, you don't exactly need to remove the wheels. We've got to remove a screw here, here, and then there are a couple of screws inside of here. 3 screws actually. One there, there, and there, and then there's a screw there. This one's already been removed. Screw this one back here. Screw is, got that screw right there. So now that we've gotten that out, we can just pop our ESC out, hang that over the other side, slide up here, pop out our receiver box, hang that over the side, and now we've got that screw, and that screw. There's 3 screws, and they will remove the diff. So here we go. For the middle one, which this one is actually the shortest screw. Should pop out just like. We've got the screw out, which means we're all done, and then now if you notice the diff is loose. So you can go ahead and take that out. I tend to like to slide it forward first, unlink the back dog bone, which can be a little bit temperamental to remove. Once you get it out, set this aside, and slide it back and down. Make sure you don't get those tangled up. Get your second dog bone out. So here on the differential, which is where we are now, my motor is loose, which means I've had a screw that's fallen out on the inside, which is why I'm dealing with transmission binding. If it gets in the wrong place, it won't run. So this is why I probably have broken a screw. So you want to take your 2.5 millimeter and undo these 2 bolts here. And as soon as it is undone, motor drops out. So here I have not broken it, but I am missing a screw. Make sure your spur gear is tight on the motor. In my case it is. Okay, so this is the end of the video today. I hope you guys like it. And make sure to leave a comment in the description below. And make sure to subscribe. If you want to follow in reverse pattern, make sure you just play the video backwards. Thanks and have a good day.